So, in our interaction this day of your time with you, it will generally all be about how can we work together to discover more of who you are, more of who you say you want to be, so that you can bring your full self, your full creativity into the idea of the group, and at the same time express as an individual that creativity outward in your lives in your own unique way. And how do you find out more and more about who you are as an individual? How do you find out who the true you is? Well, this is very simple. The main principle to this is always to follow your highest joy, your highest excitement. But why? Why is this the true idea of finding your true self? Yeah, I've heard this idea in your society many times. Follow your bliss, follow your joy. Sounds like a good idea, is a good idea, but not always do many of you know why it works. The reason that this works is because the vibration, the sensation, the experience that you call excitement, joy, unconditional love, that feeling is your body's translation of the vibrational frequency of energy that actually represents your true signature self. So when you act on whatever circumstance and situation comes into your life automatically that contains within it the highest amount of excitement, and act upon that opportunity, that situation, to the best of your ability, you will always, unerringly, like a compass needle, be pointing directly in the direction of your true self, your true path. Excitement is the thread that leads you into all circumstances and situations that will support you and attract to your life the support you need in whatever form it may need to come. Excitement is the thread, not how the situation looks on the surface. Because as you all know, you cannot judge a book by its cover. Circumstances and situations do not have built-in meaning. They do not have built-in meaning. Nothing means anything. But that's a blessing. That is a blessing. Because if nothing means anything by itself, what that tells you is that it is up to you with your free will to decide what the situation means, to give it the meaning that works best for you. And once you give it the meaning you prefer, you will discover that you will then get the effect out of the situation that is reflective of the meaning you put into it. Spirituality, in this sense, is really just physics. It's just a higher understanding of physics. What you put out is what you get back. And that is why everything in life is actually fundamentally neutral, devoid of any automatic built-in meaning. You decide what meaning there is in the situations that occur in your life, and the meaning you put in will be the effect that you get out of it, regardless of what anyone else's intention in the situation may be toward you. Because each of you is unique, each of you is autonomous, each of you is your own universe. Literally. 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 Now, the idea of all of you having come together because of your excitement about more spirituality in your art form of cinema, right then and there begins to build a very powerful, exponentially powerful energy. For understand something very important about transformation in the world. You do not require a majority of the world to be behaving spiritually in order for the entire planet to be capable of being transformed. You do not even need 25%. You do not even need 10%. You do not even need 5%. The idea of individuals operating in a spiritually integrated manner is that they are exhibiting a very positive and thus very integrative energy. Individuals operating in what might be called negative energy are isolated because negative energy, mechanically speaking, is separational, segregational, disconnective. And thus, even when different individuals come together, so to speak, in negative energy, they are not really adding their energy to each other. They are simply operating as a collection of individuals. But when individuals come together in positive energy, integrative energy, in love, creativity, excitement, and joy, the mechanism of positive energy is automatically, by definition, integrative, and thus exponentially capable of affecting large amounts of energy and mass with very few people. Two individuals coming together in like mind, of like spirit, in harmony, in joy, in love, creatively, is more like the equivalent of 8 negative individuals. 3 positive individuals coming together is more like the equivalent of 20 negative individuals. 4 positive individuals coming together begins to be more like the idea of 100 negative individuals. So it doesn't take very many positively oriented individuals to completely outbalance the negative energy in your world. And this is why the idea of the transformation taking place on your planet at this time does not require that a large percentage of your population begin to flow in a more positively spiritual way. All it requires is that enough of you do. So that then there can be, from that collection, from that focus, an exponential explosion of positive energy that will then encompass the entire planet and not make everyone change, but allow everyone who desires to change to do so more easily. It will provide the medium of the change. It will provide an energy that they can tap into should they desire to change in a more positive way. Those that do not desire to change in a more positive way, of course, will not. But the world that you will experience will become more positive because there are an infinite number of worlds, an infinite number of realities, and whatever vibration you choose to be will be the world you will experience. Those that do not choose the same vibration will experience another reality. And all those realities overlap. They all interpenetrate. They are all here and now. But this vibration and this vibration will be invisible to each other. You intuitively understand this exponential power, and it is one of the reasons why you have been attracted to the idea of expressing your spirituality through cinema, because you understand the great impact that the art form of your film has upon your planet. One of the most powerful things it does is it invites individuals to drop their barriers when they are watching one of your movies. It invites individuals to entertain new ideas in a safe environment, non-threatening environment. They do not feel that their cherished beliefs are being threatened, because after all, it's only a movie. Nevertheless, the energy does get into any door in their consciousness they are willing to open. It does take root, it does take seed. And that is why it is so profoundly powerful that if you put those kinds of stories, those kinds of messages, that kind of energy, that kind of information into that kind of powerful media, as you know, it can have a very profound, life-changing effect on individuals who may otherwise not even know they are capable of being affected in that way, who may have unconsciously, subconsciously been looking for something but not known exactly what it is. Your films can trigger that awakening, even if only a little bit within them. And when you work together to create the idea of putting out that energy in your world, It can even astonish you, the effect it will have and how rapid an effect it can have. You all know also that more and more individuals on your planet desire more exposure to the ideas, to the reflections, to the mirrors, to the stories that will put them in touch with their true self. Many people on your planet are starving to be put in touch with their true spiritual nature. And so in that sense, spiritual cinema is a type of food, a type of manna that can feed the soul. And thus then can allow people on your planet to begin to feel fulfilled. And to know that there is always the possibility of choice, always the freedom to choose the reality you prefer, always the freedom to live the stories that you want your lives to be. For each of you is a story of the infinite, a story of all that is, in your own unique expression of that. Those are the stories to tell, your stories, the stories of who and what you are, really who and what you are, and the stories of how to take all the things in your world that you have been dealing with for so very long in such a negative way, and to show, to present, to offer as a gift the possibility that there are other ways to solve your problems, other ways to come up with solutions that are positive and constructive instead of destructive. It is no accident that your silver screen is called just that. For in that sense, it is like a mirror, literally like a mirror. And what people on your planet witness on that screen is definitely a mirror into the soul. Put on that mirror the reflection you believe represents who you really are as beings. And it will sink in. It will reach the soul. Through the eyes, through the ears, through the feelings, through the emotions, through the mind. However you wish to do it, it will reach. Were it not so, were that not the highest probability of the idea of the future you want to create, were it not the highest probability of the future that can occur, we would not be talking to you at all now. For in that sense, the fact that these kinds of communications occur is an indication that you are creating the probable future from the present. Remember, there is no such thing as the future. There is no such thing as a prediction of the future, because there is no such thing as the future. There are an infinite number of probable realities that you can manifest, but they all start with the here and the now. Stay in the present, for it is the only place you exist. Any such thing you may call a prediction is only a sensing of the energy that exists at the time the prediction is made. No one reads the future. They read the present. And if it comes to pass, then what they have done is read a present that has so much momentum and so much energy behind it, it is unlikely to change direction. But remember, sometimes the prediction itself, the sensing itself, the reading itself of the energy that exists at the time of the reading can change the energy at the time of the reading. And that is why some so-called predictions don't come to pass. It isn't that they were wrong or inaccurate. It's simply that once you are aware that you have a choice, once you are aware of where the energy is, if you don't prefer that future, you can change it. In a sense, that's actually what predictions are for. To tell you, here's the energy, here's where it is, do you like it, do you not like it? If you don't like it, change it. Render the prediction obsolete. But if you know within your heart that you desire a reality of peace, of love, of creativity, of joy, of synchronicity, of harmony, of orchestrated projects, expressions, sharings, if you know that that is the reality you prefer, then every action you take, and that is the important key, action, every action you take in the direction of your highest joy with others of like mind will amplify the energy and the momentum behind that possible future and allow you to experience that vibration more readily around you every day, in every way, more and more and more. And one more thing to keep in mind, for this is very important, for there's a lot of misunderstanding and misinterpretation about this in what you call your spiritual and metaphysical community. We hear many times people who are on what you call spiritual paths say to us, well, I thought I was doing so well, and then this happened, or that happened. What's wrong? What did I do wrong? Am I not being spiritual enough? Have I failed? Am I not getting in touch with my beliefs and my definitions enough and changing them properly? Why did this happen? If I'm such a spiritual being, how can this still happen in my life? Understand this. Spirituality is not about what does or doesn't happen in your life. It's about how you respond to it, whatever it is. Your world is going to remain a world of polarity for quite some time. You are still going to be able to experience many different kinds of things, some of which you may have heretofore labeled as negative. But if these things should crop up in your life, even when you believe that you are so spiritual that that should never have happened again, right then and there, catch yourself and recognize it isn't about the fact that that same appearing thing showed up. It is about remembering that that thing has no meaning, and if you give it a positive meaning, you will get a positive effect out of it, even if it looks the same as it used to when you used to label it in a negative way and used to get a negative effect from it in the past. You will still challenge yourself with things to see if in fact you are walking your talk. If you are in fact responding differently to things as they occur, even if they appear to be similar to what happened before, rather than reacting to things in the same old way. That is the measure of spiritual growth, that you respond to things differently, not necessarily that things don't happen in the way that they used to. Keep that in mind on your journey, because there will be many things on your journey of creating spiritual cinema, or however you wish to express your excitement, that will challenge you. And they will be great challenges. You will be able to transform every single one of them if you remember it isn't about what happens, it's about what you do with what happens. And that everything belongs in your life, and if it didn't, it wouldn't be there. If you treat your life as if it can be interrupted by something that doesn't belong, then that's the effect you will get out of it. If you accept and allow everything that does occur to be what needs to be there for you to transform in a positive way what you need out of that, then the only effect it will have in your life, regardless of anyone else's intentions, will be a positive one. I guarantee you that, because that's physics, that's the way reality works. 100% guaranteed by the infinite. It's the contract that you all have, because you exist. Were it not so, creation could not work. Now, with this in mind, let us explore together the ideas that are of importance to you. Let us begin with sharing, be it a statement or a question, 'tis up to you. Not all at once now.